the ICE shooting in Minneapolis. Man, I bet Minnesota misses Jesse Ventura. I mean, what happened to Minnesota? It went from Jesse Ventura to what it is now. It's just like a big Somalian immigrant center or something. And that's my point of all this. Everybody's got something to say about the shooting, but what no one's saying is the truth. And the truth is, this whole thing, forget about the lady who got shot. Forget about that. This thing's way bigger than that. This has been going on for over a decade now, where Border Patrol has been going all over the nation. They in Chicago. This is before Donald Trump coming in office. The Border Patrol was in Michigan a lot, around Detroit. They were pulling people over. And the argument was, well, they can be there because the border is in Canada, right? Like there's a bunch of Canadians trying to sneak into the United States. But that was their excuse. But anyway, the federal government has been conspiring for a long time to create a federal police force. And the reason why they want to do this is they want to get around the 10th Amendment. They want to get around the state's right to govern themselves. So they want to establish a federal police force separate from the FBI, and Border Patrol, or this new, what they call a Department of Homeland Security, is that new force. And that new force will be privatized in the future and replaced with drones, and robots. But anyhow, in the short run, the federal government been looking for an excuse to establish a federal police force to overrule states' rights to govern themselves, okay? That's what this is all about. So what they did is their police unions, especially with the Border Patrol, told their officers to stand down. Now, there's laws in place. There's a border. They're supposed to keep illegals out, but their supervisors told them to stand down. Of course, they blame the politicians, but it's a law, and they're supposed to enforce it. It's not up to the local politicians whether or not they should enforce the borders at the border, Border Patrol at the border, right? So they let all these people in to cause all this chaos and whatnot, to give the excuse to put out these ICE agents all over America. And it's going to become, and it's being backed by the National Guard, but it's going to become, this is never going to end. You just seen the beginning of this. It's never going to end. The Department of Homeland Security is going to be driving around in vehicles for the next 100 years, okay? Stopping and frisking both residents, citizens, and non-citizens of here, okay? That's what this is all about. So forget about the shooting. Forget about the fact that, she shouldn't protest. You don't have a First Amendment right when police officers are trying to do their job. And forget about the fact that, the cop, they told her to leave, and then they stood on the side of a vehicle and shot in the inside. No, it's bigger than all that, okay? It's bigger than all that. It's the fact that the federal government wants to establish a Department of Homeland Security, and they want to do it to override the 10th Amendment, to override the state's right to govern itself. That's what this is all about. And so the shooting is just, a byproduct of this. Anytime you take psychopaths and dress them in costumes and give them guns, someone is going to get hurt. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, just the chances of, thousands of people with guns having interactions with tens of thousands of other people, somebody's going to get killed. I mean, because the gun is there. So forget about all the minutia. Forget about all the small details. Forget about the little outcomes. Forget about the talking heads, the ex-con talking heads, the wannabe Chad Marks, wannabe police officers who are blaming victims, as always. No, look at it for what it is. It is the federal government's attempt to establish a federal police force that will override the state's right to govern themselves. And yes, it looks great to the right wingers today, but what's going to happen when the next Obama takes office? And he has these same people, the same costume wearing deep state enforcement officers going around picking up white people who stand on the right and who have Confederate flags and this, that, and the other. They're going to declare white supremacy a weapon of mass destruction like fentanyl. No, they're gonna consider white supremacy, any type of white nationalism will be labeled as terrorism by the next Democratic president. And your beloved deep state officers, Mr. Walmart Patriot, will be hunting you down next. So